Good morning, everybody. Happy Isolation Saturday. Hopefully, everybody is doing well, staying healthy. um, so, before I get started, we're going to do a video about steeping the perfect cup of tea. Now more than ever, where we're kind of either quarantined or having to stay social distancing, we need to have a little bit of time to relax and kind of collect your thoughts, I guess, although we're all just sitting around collecting our thoughts now anyway. But tea provides a little bit of a mental escape. Not only is it chemically does that to your brain with the L-theanine, as we talked about in the previous videos, but just the act of sitting down with a cup of tea in a warm spot in your house is relaxing. So we thought we'd talk about brewing the perfect cup of tea. But first I want to thank everybody for the orders, curbside pickup this week. I know everybody's in a kind of a bad way as far as, either finances, they're out of work, or, small businesses. We're all kind of in the same struggle. So I truly appreciate all of that, and trust me, when this is over, we're going to have one heck of a tea party, okay? So stay tuned. Let's hope it's sooner than later. All right, so for brewing the perfect cup of tea, one of our, Debbie and I's goals in opening the shop is to take the intimidation out of brewing loose tea. It is so simple. There are just a few guidelines, and you don't need any special equipment. You don't, there's all kinds of things out there that are really expensive, and they, little gadgets, and they're great, but you would just need some basic things to brew a good cup of tea. So one of the first things that we talk about, number one, is picking a good tea. So I wanted to bring a tea bag over, but starting with a premium loose tea is key. Never mind, the health benefits are much better, as we talked about in the other video. They've done studies, and there's trace amounts of antioxidants in tea bags, the ground stuff, the powder, where most of the health benefits are going to be in the whole leaf. So like with anything, you're either cooking, you start with really good ingredients, and that provides a much better outcome. The second thing is water. Again, so you'll read a lot of things. Oh, you're going to have, start with premium water, no chemicals, yada, yada, yada. Okay, well, it's great if you live in the Swiss Alps and you can tap into a pure mountain spring and you can get your water, but we don't have that kind of accessibility. So you use the water you have, and you know what? Your tea is going to be fine. It is still going to taste good. So use what's available to you. All right? So that's one of my big pet peeves. So after that, it's finding the right piece of equipment to steep your tea in. So there's all kinds of little gadgets. You've seen them. There's rubber ducks and things like that. As I've drilled into a lot of our customers' heads, these are, although they're super cute, they sit in your cup, and like this, and that's really, really cool and all, but they're terrible for loose tea. And the reason for that is, with loose tea, the leaves are going to double or triple in size. And if you don't have room for those leaves to unfurl and for the water to circulate around the leaves, you're not going to, number one, extract the full potential and flavor or the health benefits. So the key is to provide, excuse me, the key is to provide as much space as you can for the leaves to unfurl and do their thing. So something like this, a nice big infuser that sets into your cup. This provides plenty of room for the leaves to unfurl and float around. Super easy to clean out. So that's a great option. There's all kinds of, these happen to be reusable cotton filter. So you put your tea in here, cinch it closed, stick it in your cup, and you can just turn it inside out, rinse it under hot water when you're done with it. So that's a great option. One of the other things, we do carry these. I should have brought one of the other small cups. The traditional tea ball, everyone's probably got one tucked away in their drawer somewhere. These are really a really poor way to steep loose tea. It's fine, I guess, if you've got a small teacup, like a 4 to 6 ounce cup, you could probably use that. The problem, the mistake a lot of people make is they'll pack this right full of tea, and then it doesn't have enough room to expand, and the leaves just get jammed in there. So I strongly discourage this kind of thing unless you're using it in a traditional size teacup. But nowadays, especially in this country, we're drinking things out of, this is a 10 ounce cup, and it goes even higher than that. A lot of people use like a 12 ounce mug. So I discourage you from using something like that. We use in the shop these make your own tea bags. So you get the convenience of a tea bag, but you can put your own, use loose leaf tea and use as much as you like or as little as you like. So these are a super good, economical way, easy way to brew tea. They are 100% biodegradable, 100% compostable. So you can toss them in the compost pile. Obviously, there's all kinds of tea mugs, things out there with infusers built in. Again, the key is the bigger the better. So if you're looking for an infuser, looking for a teapot with infusers, something like this, you want something that has a really big infuser that will provide ample room for the tea to float around in. Did you bring my little strainer over?
No, but I can go get that. And yeah. Robin wants to know if we can bring back cinnamon apple next winter.
Cinnamon apple. I don't think we had a cinnamon apple, but it sounds delicious. Maybe we will do a cinnamon apple. Sure, we have a cinnamon, and we have plenty of apple.
We have apple ginger.
We have an apple ginger. We used to have a apple fig. So we'll look into doing that. That sounds like a good.
I'll write that in my notebook.
So a lot of people, you've seen these before. So some people get confused. There's a big difference between this is a tea infuser, this is a tea strainer. What the tea strainer is used for is if you've got a teapot without an infuser, such as this, you would put the loose tea in the pot, and when you're done brewing it, you would strain it into your cup. So this is not to be set in the cup like this and infuse it. This is just to strain the leaves. I don't know if you can see, I'm not sure where I'm at, but
yeah, you're good.
If you can, you strain the leaves as you pour the tea out of the pot. So a phenomenal way to brew, really the ultimate way, is to leave the leaves loose in the pot. That gives plenty of room for them to float around, plenty of room for water to circulate around the leaves, get a nice full extraction. So anyway, not always the most convenient, but definitely the best method. So after you've picked your tea, you've got your water, you've got your vessel, then it's a matter of just the really important part of steeping loose tea is water temperature and time, in my opinion. So, some basic guidelines. You can write this down. We have them on our website. So, black teas, and we'll talk about herbal teas in just a second. But so, black teas, generally speaking, you can use boiling water, and you'd want to steep them 3 to 5 minutes. Anything after 5 minutes, now some teas are better than others, but you'll start to get more of the tannins that will come out, and they'll start to get bitter. But if you like bitter, then go for it. Green teas, green and white teas, you're generally 175 degrees to 180 degrees, and you want to steep them usually no more than 2 to 3 minutes. Some some are a little bit less. Some of the more delicate white teas, you can do 1 minute steepings. Green and white teas, as well as oolongs, are phenomenal for re-steeping. So whatever you're steeping your tea in, whether it be an infuser like this, you would just set this aside, and when you're done drinking your cup, you can put this back in your cup, pour the water back in, and you can get multiple infusions. I think we've talked about that in other videos anyway, but so that's a great way to enjoy your tea a little bit longer. Sometimes the second and third steepings are even better. Shut my tea kettle off. And so herbal teas, where that's definitely not tea, it's fruit pieces and spices and roots and that sort of thing. Boiling water, you want to steep them at least 5 minutes, but 7-10 minutes is perfectly fine. You're really, it's a great way to start. You're not going to hurt anything. You don't have to worry about water temperature and time and all that kind of stuff. So that's probably the most intimidating thing about tea for a lot of people is the water temperature and time, but it's really just a couple of simple guidelines. And then I'm going to be using the filters today just for ease. We're doing a Ceylon black tea, so you can stick to boiling water 3 to 5 minutes. The other quick thing I should add is the amount of tea you use. So sometimes you'll see a teaspoon of tea. So the rule is a teaspoon and a half of tea per 8 ounces of water. So if you see the directions for a teaspoon of tea, it's typically for 6 ounces of water. That kind of standard is kind of going away because, again, most people are drinking tea out of 8 ounces and more now. So stick to the teaspoon and a half of tea per 8 ounces of water. If you want to measure, weigh your tea, it would be 2 to 3 grams of tea per 8 ounces of water. So either way, some of the bigger leaf teas, this one's not bad, but as you can see, it'd be kind of hard to get an exact amount in your teaspoon. So that's where weighing 2 to 3 grams, if you have a gram scale, you can do that, and that would be perfectly acceptable. So start with a teaspoon and a half. If you have a teaspoon at home, you can just do a rounded teaspoon. I like my tea a little stronger, so a lot of times I leave mine kind of rounded, but something like that. Put it in a filter, like that. We're going to stick that in the pot. And then you have your water ready. So you can do this without spilling it all over the place. Pour it in like that.
So we have a couple of comments
Yes.
while you're steeping there.
So these filters are super easy. That's all you do. Put it in there, put the lid on, and set your timer. Okay, sorry.
All right, so Dina wants to know if we're taking requests for tea.
For quarantine karaoke, Dina? No. Again, not doing that.
Maybe for tea. I don't know what kind of. I'm not sure what kind of flavor she's asking for.
All right.
And a couple of people are talking about the maple sugar. Sasha says it's heaven for anybody who's watching.
Awesome. I'm
Allison
glad you
says
enjoy that.
Yeah, Allison says she definitely wants to try it. And maybe we should just warn them, it is seasonal, but due to
The maple sugar is seasonal. We do have plenty of it right now.
because we've not been open, so it hasn't been flying off the
Right.
shelves like usual.
Right.
So the season might be
I
extended.
hope to have it certainly, through the end of April for sure, probably into May. Really good with milk, and if you want to sweeten it, a little bit of maple syrup, actually. If you want to kick the old maple up a notch. Anyway.
And Maggie's asking if we sell those teapots, which
Yes, we do. But it wasn't for a sales pitch. There's all kinds of things out there. But just when you're looking for tea steeping equipment, keep in mind the space. It has to be functional for you, but make sure you leave plenty of room for the leaves to unfurl. So we've got another couple of minutes left. If you have any questions, by all means, let me know. Oh, yeah. Thank you.
All right.
Any other comments or questions?
Let's see. Dina says she hasn't found any of our teas that she doesn't like.
Oh, thank you,
Which is
Dina.
nice, which is nice. Not every tea is for everybody, you know.
Right, right. And that's one of the things I mentioned in the other video. Especially if you're drinking tea, you know, you like the taste of tea, but you also want the health benefits. If you're not finding something you like, you're not going to drink enough of it to get any benefits.
And I just want people to know that it says we have 21 people watching, but I don't see 21 people showing up.
Yeah.
So if we don't say hi,
I don't know how that
sorry.
works.
Somebody says Tom looks like he says good morning. Good morning, Tom.
Morning, Tom.
John. Good morning, John.
One of the other questions we get a lot, or I get a lot of comments. My timer's about to go off, but sometimes you make iced tea. You'll notice it's cloudy. So that's not actually an indication that you've got bad tea. What it really is the antioxidants, the polyphenols in your tea. It reacts to the chemicals and the minerals in water. So that's what causes your tea to get cloudy. So it is more prevalent when you make a tea hot and then you make it iced from that, like you add ice to it. A lot of times you might see your tea getting cloudy. But again, that is not necessarily a sign of bad tea. It's just about the minerals in the water reacting with the chemicals in the tea. One of the ways to avoid that, if you don't like the looks of it, cold brewing your tea, you don't tend to get that cloudiness as much in your tea. So cold brewing is when you just put the loose tea in whatever you're making it in to make a pitcher of iced tea or whatever, and putting it in the fridge and let it sit overnight or several hours. That's a cold extraction, and we'll do something on making iced tea as well. But all right, so my timer, we're about 3 minutes and 30 seconds now. I tend to like, from most black teas, I tend to like a 3-minute steep, but the key is to finding what you enjoy. So if you like it a little more bitter or a little stronger, you can steep it a little longer. A lot of people make the mistake, they think to make like I say, I like my tea stronger. You want to add more tea, not necessarily add more time. Because after a while, bad things happen.
Move your teapot.
Oh, sorry.
So we have, I get it. So thank you for teaching us how to do this. So we don't see everybody because you actually have to say hello. So we know who's there. So we have a lot of some questions. Yes, this will be posted online. Jasmine tea is $6.50. Yes, you can pick up on Tuesday. Our regular, we're still available for.
Well, so picking up. That's we're just kind of playing that by ear. So I'm usually here, definitely here every day. I might not be here all day long. It's depending on how, what business dictates. I do have usually online orders to fill, and I'm just kind of puttering around in the shop. So really, it's we'll accommodate you. So whatever, you can message me, you can call, email. And I'll make arrangements to be here if you want to pick something up. It is curbside, so you'll have to either call me, place the order with a credit card, or go onto our website, place an order with a credit card, and select pick up at store. We're trying to get an actual click on there for curbside. Square has given us that ability now. But it's the same thing, select pick up at store, and we'll bring it out to your car. Any other?
Well, all of a sudden they started popping up, so I got lost.
Keep up, Debbie.
I know. I'm sorry. Yeah, I think Enfield has somebody from Enfield. Hello.
Hello from Enfield.
Enfield, yes. All right. So we are at I think we might have to read more of these as we.
You can't see them?
I can't see them. Love
You
the
don't have any
spearmint.
glasses on?
I do. Shh. Spearmint and hibiscus. Oh, serious question, John Holmes. Are all teas healthy?
Yes. Perhaps you didn't watch our first video. So yes,
I think
all
he was
teas
on.
are loaded with antioxidants, polyphenols, L-theanine, caffeine. So again, that was one of the things. It all comes from the same plant, the Camellia sinensis plant. So it's find something you like the taste of, and you're going to get more health benefits from that if you're drinking, 4 to 5 cups a day.
Oh, Jessica says the curbside was perfect.
Awesome.
It worked great.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
We need people to have tea during these troubled times. So one of the things I talked about, just a real quick demo for expansion. If I can get this open. Oh, more importantly, if you're using it, make your own tea bags. For the love of God, do not squeeze the tea bag when you take it out. Okay, let it drip. What happens when you squeeze? I know a lot of people are used to doing that with traditional tea bags, and you really shouldn't do it with them either. But you're going to get all those tannins that are in the tea are going to come out, and it's going to make it really bitter, a really bad tasting cup of tea. So I always joked, leave the squeezing to Mr. Whipple, if you can even find that anymore.
If you're old enough to know who that is.
Well, yeah, or you can't find it on the shelves anymore.
No,
So,
that too.
a little messy demonstration as to why we need plenty of room for the tea. Sorry. If you remember what we started with, see if I can show you that real quick. Yeah, my spoon. So we started with that.
Teapot.
We started with this. Sorry, my teapot's in the way. We started with this, 2 rounded teaspoons or 2 teaspoons and a half, and this is what happened after we steeped it for 3 minutes. Okay, so if you had this jammed in the little pants, something like this, you can imagine what that would end up like. Okay, not going to work. Or jammed into this. Okay, so a perfect example, and there are plenty of teas. This happens to be a broken leaf tea. There are plenty that are going to expand and even more than this. So you really want to give that room, give that tea plenty of room to expand and do its thing. Plus, these are just. Can you imagine trying to clean that out? So terrible idea. All right. Any other?
Somebody is asking, do we have cherry rose in stock? We do.
Yes.
And can we acquire a maple tea that is not black? Potentially.
Yes.
Maybe. And
Potentially.
potentially.
Not right now.
And Allison's almost out of de-stress thanks to COVID-19.
Yeah, I know it's a good one to have right now. We're thinking about doing an IV drip of that. Just kidding.
And Melissa likes the de-stress as well.
Awesome. Well, by all means, you can keep the questions coming. We'll answer them offline or whatever we're on here, but or comments. So really, everybody, take time today, tomorrow, whenever, and brew yourself a cup of tea and relax. Turn off the TV, turn off the radio, whatever. We don't. Sometimes you hear too much of it. It can get a little much, but.
Do you want to answer one more question? Because I think it'll be easier here than typing it out later.
Yeah,
what does de-stress tea taste like?
So it's a chamomile-based tea with it's got lots of things in it, but the primary notes are going to be chamomile and honey. Chamomile and vanilla. It does have a little bit of stevia leaf and dried honey in there, some twig tea, some hickory. But again, the big notes, the main flavor is going to be chamomile and vanilla. So naturally caffeine free, A lot of people enjoy that. You can do it any time of day. Chamomile is well known for its relaxation properties to calm you down. So a great tea to have during these times for sure.
And yes, the question Maggie wants to know if we'll be here for curbside pickup today. And
Yes,
we will.
Yep. We're definitely going to be here until noon, and that again, it's really dependent on.
Just let us know what time you
Yep.
think you'll be here. We
You
can make
call
sure
us
we can be
as
here.
soon as we're done here. You can give us a call.
Or instant message.
Or message us, whatever, email us, and we'll be here whenever. One other thing I wanted to talk about.
I don't know, but Melissa wants to know if we'd consider selling stevia leaf alone. People
Yeah,
have asked us about that.
yeah, we have. I've actually done that for some people when they come in and ask. We did one the other day. Someone wanted not hibiscus, rose hips. So we do have those that we use for blending, and so I gave her some rose hips. But yeah, we may do that. The stevia that we have is in dried form, not liquid form.
Yeah, stevia leaf she was looking
Yeah,
for.
stevia leaf. So it's just there hasn't been a big demand for that. So we don't usually put it on the shelf. We obviously have limited space as well. So I suppose we could bag up everything that we use for blending, but again, we don't have the space for that. So, but we can certainly work something out if you need some stevia leaf. We could do something. All right, I can't think of the other thing I was going to mention, but
You'll add it.
it'll come to me as soon as
Yep.
as soon as we get off. All right, so everyone, no, there was one thing. Huh. God. All right, everyone have a great day. Thank you all again so much, and your health.